parent and sibling relationships. First off, we're going to start about parent relationships. And the first relationship that you can kind of have with your child is a conversation relationship. And this is where, say, if a parent says that the kid cannot use the car for he can only use the car for work and school, and then at that point the kid would have a conversation with the parents and let him know like his opinion on it, and maybe they could compromise for something else. And the second one is conformity. Conformity is where the child just kind of listens to whatever the parents say, and he's very obedient, and he doesn't really question their decisions. For example, if a parent did say, hey, you can use the car for work and school, in this situation the kid would not fight the parent at all. He wouldn't challenge it, he would accept it. And actually in further in life, the kids that have more of a conversation relationship tend to have a more confident way of talking to people. They are more they can release their emotions better, and also they can express themselves. And if you have a more conformity, a child that was raised with the conformity relationship with the parent, then they typically have more emotional resiliency. However, they can lack confidence and voicing their opinion in some situations. Parent styles. Parent styles exist of three things. And the first one is authoritarian. And this is basically where the parent is in full control, and the kid obeys whatever the parent says, and there's not a lot of compassion in the rules. It's more of just kind of you do what you're told. And then the second one is authoritarianism, and this one is basically where the parent still has control over the child, and they do set out rules, but they also have compassion for them, and the rules are typically meant for their own good and their own benefit. So, and then the next one is permissive. And permissive is basically where the parent doesn't care at all and doesn't really have a lot of rules for the child and doesn't really give him special guidelines to succeed. And the best one out of all of these is the authoritative. And this one is just good because it shows compassion towards the kids, and it helps them succeed in life. And also it has just a more loving relationship. And now the next one is types of siblings. We're going to go into sibling relationships. And the first type is the supporter. And these siblings communicate very often. They have an emotional connection to each other, and they feel that they can tell each other stuff. And these siblings will typically be closer to the same age and come from a bigger family. And then there's longing. And longing, these siblings don't interact as much as they would like to, and they have little emotional depth. However, these siblings do respect each other, and they do contact each other from time to time. They just don't have that the extra step that, say, a supportive sibling relationship would have. And then next, there is the competitive relationship, and this is basically a couple siblings competing for their parents' affection or their parents' approval. And this typically happens when a parent maybe shows favoritism towards one child, and this typically ends as the children get older, but in some cases this continues in adulthood because the parents still have still use favoritism in their relationship with the children. And then the fourth one is apathetic, and this one is where siblings only communicate on special occasions, holidays, and other stuff like that. And then lastly, there's the hostile, and these siblings communicate very little, if at all, and they have harsh feelings such as jealousy, betrayal, or something of that nature that could be derived from the parents, but typically it is because one of the siblings does something to the other that makes the other one mad, and these siblings do more than just drift away. They sometimes completely stop communication with each other. And then lastly, I have this video on YouTube.
I've seen them dancing.
The hell with romancing.
She sweat, wet, gotta go like a turbo vet.
Fellas.
Yeah.
Fellas.
Yeah.
Cause your girlfriend got the butt. So shake it, shake it, shake it, shake that nasty butt.
Baby got back.
One more time from the top. I like big butts and I cannot lie. You
Rachel, please, that is so inappropriate.
And so that is our presentation over chapter 8.